Good afternoon, everyone. This is the second episode of the In the Weeds podcast, where we talk about everything in the UK League of Legends esports scene. I'm your host, Water, and today we'll be talking to Chewy about their tenure in the UK scene and a little bit about who they are. Welcome, Chewy.
Hello.
Do you wanna introduce yourself a little? Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you're about.
Hi, I'm Chewy. I play League of Legends quite a lot. Usually now in the competitive side. I'm on a team called HLT, and I am the AD carry for that team.
Mm-hmm. So, what got you into the scene, the competitive scene as a whole?
The competitive scene, a friend of mine, actually, well, I used to have I have a group of friends that I play like a group setting game with, and called Flex, and then we needed like an extra person, and we were looking around. We found one guy, his name is Trickster, and then he filled in the spot that we needed. And then after that, apparently he was starting a team up, and he asked if I would like to play on that team, and I thought it would just be a bit of fun, so I agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And then later down the line, I kind of got into the competitive stuff. It's quite fun. I like the competitive aspect of it compared to just more the fun side.
Yeah,
and that's kind of how I started to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I joined a couple more teams, and then now I'm on HLT.
Mm-hmm. So, what brought you into from this amateur league outside with a group of friends to the UK scene? Like, what made you get into the UK scene or want to get into the UK scene?
I think it was just like a more competitive scene. I was playing in a CWL league, which is like a lesser league, which like compared to the one I'm in now. It's more outside of the company that runs the game, like the scope.
Mm-hmm.
Where this scene's a bit more inside. I'm just kind of working my way up through the tiers,
Climbing the ladder.
to see how far I can go. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, do you have any like previous accomplishments you wanna share? Any like in this CWO where like how did you perform and how are you performing currently?
In CWL, on my first split, we won the split. So that was it was previously the Division 2 split.
Mm-hmm.
And then they added another one later, and then the next split over, we also won that one, and that one became the second split as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we tried for the Div 1. We got pretty far. I can't remember. I think we might have got finals, semifinals, something like that.
From what I'm reading here, you came third, so you got to semifinals.
Yeah, it was semifinals in the third split, so had a pretty good start, I guess, from the competitive scene.
So you've been at the top of any competition you play in for your whole career, pretty much, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I haven't. I think that's kind of what got it into me, because it was a good start, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it was a bad start, maybe I wouldn't.
Do you think that the positive experience of being so high, winning first of all in your first split, and then continuing on to perform consistently top 3 in everything, do you think that has a big factor as to why you keep playing?
I think at the start it did, for sure. You know, you got a positive like feedback loop. I think if we did like absolutely terrible, maybe I wouldn't want to pursue as much. But we had a good environment for the most part, and it was just kind of a fun thing to do.
Yeah. So, would you say that the fun, the enjoyment you started to get out of it is the reason you are so motivated to keep playing now?
I think that's how it always starts. Like, it's fun to start with, and then
you realize
it's fun to be it's going to be competitive as well. So it's always fun to be competitive as well, and then I kind of enjoyed that part of it as well.
Well, that's really nice to hear. So going back to how you got, so we've talked about how you got into the competitive scene. What got you into League in the first place? And is there any previous games that you had played like maybe in your younger years, such as your childhood, that maybe may have influenced you into falling into this path of down League of Legends?
I've always been a very competitive person, even when I was like young. Like
Mm-hmm.
me and my brother, we used to play, and I'd always want to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What kind of games are we talking?
StarCraft, Diablo, like pretty
Mm-hmm.
much any of the old games that we
Mm-hmm.
used to play. I used to play WoW with my
Mm-hmm.
brother as well.
Yeah.
Street Fighter, stuff like that. So very like nowadays quite
Yeah.
competitive games, but like
Yeah.
back then it was just me, my brother, and
Yeah.
maybe his friends. And I think I'm just a competitive person overall. And then I found a game. I think it was maybe like 15 years ago when I was like really young.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching videos about this new game that was like a 5v5 experience game. I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos and it looked really like fun. And then I had like a really bad laptop, and
Mm-hmm.
I downloaded it. I played that game I think now for 15 years now. It's still enjoyable today.
Yeah. So, okay, so you said about playing fighting games and like RTS games with your brother.
Hmm.
They 1v1 games, typically, right?
Yes, yeah. It's not usually a team sport
So,
for those.
first of all, what did you enjoy about those games when you were competing against your brother?
I think it was just optimizing as best you can, because
Mm-hmm.
in those games you are the sole reason to win and sole reason to lose, pretty much.
Yeah.
Based on your like decisions. Uh, so I think just compared to the game that we're playing now, which is more of a team-oriented one,
Yeah.
I quite like the enjoyment of optimizing and figuring things out and countering how my brother would play to try and beat him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a lot of the aspect that I enjoy in those games.
So, coming from that 1v1 kind of environment, what did stepping into a 5v5 game like feel like for you? Like, was it much different, or was it more similar than people think?
I think it's more similar than people think, because yes, you have a team and everything, but you try and do the most optimal thing for yourself
Yeah.
that would increase the chances of winning. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
there's more factors now because you got four other people on your team that can
Yeah.
do different things, and you have to adapt to what they do, and they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna adapt to what you do, and it's more complex that way. But
Mm-hmm.
I think overall, like for the role I play in the game, I just needed the best I can do,
Mm-hmm.
and it's quite similar to
Yeah.
optimizing the best performance and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you mentioned your role, AD carry, right?
Yeah.
What drew you to the role? What makes the role so enjoyable for you?
Well, I get quite bored of playing the same thing over and over again. So to start with, I tried all the roles, all the
Mm-hmm.
champions in the game. That was like the first thing I ever did, was play every single
Yeah.
champion. Tried every single role a good amount.
Did
But
you
I
have a champion that you started with, or one champion that stood out when you first trying out all of them that you thought was
I think
holy?
it's
This
hard
is
for
the thing.
me to figure out which one. I think it might have been Elise in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
In the jungle role to start with, I think, but it's been so long that and I've played, all the champions now. I don't think I put too much time
Mm-hmm.
into one specific character too much.
Mm-hmm. So you just like everything pretty much. You
Yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah.
I really enjoy variety,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like playing the same thing over and over again. I get kind of bored of it after
So
like two or three.
when it comes to the AD carry role, a role that is less known for less more creative picks compared to some of the other roles. However, you are a massive player of some of these weird picks.
Yes. Um.
Do you want to go
I
through some of them? Any that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like?
Shall I just give the layman's terms, or do you want me to get more in depth
I mean,
on
you just like what makes you who you are? Why do you play these different champions?
I think
Like,
I think I'm pretty decent at realizing when I'm strong and realizing when I'm weak. And a
Hmm.
lot of these mid lane champions are quite weak early, but
Hmm.
they have these spikes that are like really strong and they take over the entire game.
Yeah.
And I think the experience of me playing so many different roles, and previously I was a mid laner um, before, so I have quite a expertise on these mage champions that a lot of the ADC role do not have.
Hmm.
So I think I can leverage the amount of champions in mid lane and then add
Yeah.
them to the bot lane.
So you think that this wider champion pool that you have is a massive advantage to you because maybe some of these other players that have stuck within the box of that role have only played that role as champions, whereas they haven't explored enough.
I would say, yeah. I think the diversity of picks is probably a big strength for me, but
Hmm.
maybe I don't have as much single focus on a single champion
Hmm.
as bot lane has, because in bot lane there's only like 15 champions or something like that. So maybe
Yeah.
people that have just stuck to those are a bit more adept at the
Hmm.
champion.
Yeah.
But I think having a lot more diversity helps out in competitive.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good to hear. When it does come to these champions, one thing I'm really curious on is what did you have like a pick, like a pick that like you are giga like comfortable on.
Yeah, it would be Vagar pretty much. I think Vagar and Hoei, these two champions, I really like Hoei because he kind of is like a lot of champions in one, so I don't get bored as easy, and I like
Hmm.
the complexity of his champion
Yeah.
because instead of four spells, you have like 4, 8,
Nine.
12. Yeah, no, like you get nine, and then you got your upper like your passive and stuff like that, and they all work
Yeah. Hmm.
together in different ways. I really like that.
Hmm.
And I don't know why I like Vagar so much. He's a very simplistic champ, but I
Hmm.
think I enjoy the scaling aspect of him. He will outscale pretty much any mage at some
Yeah.
point, and I think I also enjoy the fact that he's very annoying to deal with
Hmm.
for the enemy team.
Is that something that you? I mean, because stereotypically, most of these AD carry players are not the biggest fan of these mage champions. Do you think that that is a large reason as to why you enjoy these champions, especially in this AD carry role?
Yeah, when you queue up for ADC, right, you're usually wanting to play a highly micro champion that
Hmm.
attacks a lot. You have to move quite fast,
Yeah. Yeah.
and stuff like that. Where since I've played mid so long, I quite enjoy the range advantage on a lot of the mage champs,
Hmm.
and just because you're a ranged, you're a slower champion, you play around your spells and stuff like that rather than
Yeah.
auto attacks.
Hmm.
Doesn't mean that you can't be micro intensive with movement.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of mage players in the bot lane um, don't use that.
Hmm.
Also, there's a surprise factor is like the bot lane ADC probably hasn't played this matchup very much,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where I
So
have.
yeah, so you got the advantage in that.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Yeah. So going back to some of your time in competitive, you mentioned briefly about the environments in the team you're in, or the
Mhm.
teams you have been in. What have they been like over your career? And is there anything that's really important to the environment of a team?
I think I've been quite lucky with the teams I've been on. I think
Hmm.
the environments that I've been on have been quite positive, quite we take it serious at most points, but
Yeah.
there is the aspect of like friends as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I imagine like I've tried when I left my first team. I tried out for other teams and stuff like that. Just had a look around, and some of the environments were a little bit dull, a little bit too serious and stuff like that. And I think that
Hmm.
kind of harms um, a little bit progression with your team
Yeah.
because you're not enjoying it as much.
Hmm.
Or I think enjoyment, if you enjoy something, you want to progress on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, Not to say I haven't had my, share of um, problems with the team. But like, if you put 5 people together, or even 6 with like coaches and stuff like that for so long, I mean, you're bound to cross paths at some point of like viewpoints and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is to be understanding and be pretty open. Don't be too close-minded with how people play, or just interact with people as humans. Don't treat them like kids or
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
thing, like any other way. Yeah.
So you mentioned like coaches being involved, right? Do you think that a good coach or a positive coach is a good way to prevent the team's environment from degrading, perhaps?
I think it's probably like a 50-50, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I tried out some teams, some of the coaches were not. They were a little bit too serious, and they were very they're trying to make it something it isn't. I think that's like the best way to say.
Yeah.
But there is
Yeah.
also, players also are the same thing. But I think I've been quite lucky with the coaches. They are very uplifting, and I think they help the environment of the team more than
Mm-hmm.
harm it. The ones I've been with.
Yeah. So you also mentioned about trying out for other teams as you left your first team,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
What would you say was the main like thing like do you think that the bad environment that it was shown in that brief time you spent with that other team, do you think that that is indicative of the entire scene as a whole? Do you think that there is a larger majority of teams that are more negative, more serious, and less wanting to have fun as well as try and win?
Uh, I think anecdote I've only seen a couple teams, so I can't really
Mm-hmm.
talk too wide of a net. But from what I've seen, I think some teams they take it a little bit too serious, and I think it harms their players as well because there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
pressure on them
Yeah.
to perform, and there's no reason to grow. And when you're talking about mistakes and stuff like that, I think it can't like mistakes are easier to bring up when you're on good terms with people, right?
Yeah.
No one wants to listen to you like a person if you're a little bit too combative and stuff like that. They'll just ignore you.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
think it's important for criticism as well
Mm-hmm.
that you have a positive environment.
Okay. That will make sense.
Yeah.
Um, so getting a bit back into you as a person, how do you manage competing at this level? Obviously, with it not being at tier one LEC level, right? You're
Yeah.
not being paid to be here. You're doing
No,
it
no.
out of your enjoyment.
Yeah.
How do you balance being active within the team environment while also maintaining your social or other commitments that you have outside of the esports?
I think it helps to have someone. Um, we have someone who deals with like planning and management of times and stuff like that. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's really important to have someone who's good at that and someone
Yeah.
who can, it like when you're off and when you're stuff like that, you can put it into. We have like a document
Mm-hmm.
that we can put when we want to play, when we don't want to play,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think it's helpful to have times that you have set in your head like, oh, I'm playing at this point. Well, I can do other things at a different time
Yeah. Yeah.
that I'm not playing. But I
Mm-hmm.
think like the team before, it was more a bit sporadic, which made it kind of hard for
Mm-hmm.
to work around because you might be planning for something and then they're like, oh, we're playing now, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I've got to like drop everything and
Yeah.
be there
So,
for the team as well. So
so would you say then having someone like a manager in that role would be integral to you maintaining your own like not work life balance, but competition life balance, I guess.
I think it's extremely important. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's very underrated having. You'll feel the difference when you have someone who does this planning stuff and
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
who and when you don't. I think
Yeah.
it's really night and day, and I think it's very important for the team.
Mm-hmm. So, is there any? So, I mean, coming back to you, do you have any? Do you have any challenges that you faced in your time being in the competitive scene?
Um, I think like for league, it's very role based for me because I started as a mid laner
Mm-hmm.
and play the mages and stuff like that. That was the
Yeah.
role I started with,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to learn that basically because I've never done competitive before. So I had to learn how to play
Yeah.
competitive as a mid lane player,
Yeah.
and then uh, I kind of realized that some of my picks weren't too good. I wasn't really playing the meta as much, and I wanted to try something new.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to ADC, which was originally what I played quite a bit of at this, like just in general. I played a lot of ADC,
Mm-hmm.
and comparatively from ADC in like just non-competitive to competitive is very different on how you have to play, and I wasn't sure if I could like convert my role straight from mid lane to bot lane. But
Yeah.
that's probably one of the main challenges, and make sure my micro skills are up to par with the competition.
So, I mean, would you say was the massive? Was there any like pressure on you as a person from maybe the people you were playing with, or people who were botching you, that you felt like
Uh,
you had to perform up to the same kind of level you were on mid without having any of this experience?
I think consider it's not like a paid role or anything like that. There was not as much pressure from the outside. Of course, like I think the pressure comes from myself that like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to let down five other people, and I
Yeah.
want to play the best I can play.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't doing very well, like I would step away and stuff like that because I wouldn't want to hurt like four or five other people because it's not fair on them
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pressure just comes from yourself. I think like just you're willing to perform at a level.
So, would you say most of the pressure and stuff comes from you, or did you feel
Yeah.
no pressure from anyone else? Pretty much, it's just about how you're performing.
Well, when started like trials and stuff like that, I'm sure there was pressure. I felt from people. I had to live up to an expectation, right, to
Yeah.
perform as well as everyone else. But I don't think I've had too much pressure on from other people. But maybe I'm just quite lucky that way.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say for other people, but for me, I don't think I've had too much pressure.
Yeah. So, I mean, going forward, your split is just finished, right?
Yeah.
The regular season, you finished second, if I'm correct.
Yes. Yeah. We finished second.
Uh, how? What was it? What was it like playing in the finals?
Uh, the finals was quite stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, think I got in my head a little bit in that those last kind of last games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was against someone who was, you know, quite an old league competitive player. This is my first like couple splits of playing ADC,
Yeah.
so I'm kind of like up against someone who is very experienced. Um, and I think I didn't play the best I could have played.
Mm-hmm. I mean, still, it was a close series, right? 3-2. So,
Yeah.
would you have felt worse if you'd have gone out 3-0?
Um,
Or does it feel
yeah,
worse knowing that you were close to bringing it back?
I think they played well. I don't have any complaints about how they played. I didn't feel like they were unjust in winning. I
Mm-hmm.
think they deserve to win compared to our team.
Yep.
So I think that's fine. It's not like I'm upset
Yeah.
that I lost because unlucky or something like that. Like I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
believe
yeah.
in that.
Mm-hmm.
They played better than we did, so they earned the victory.
Yeah.
But I think if we were 3-0'd, it would kind of dent my perspective of my own player.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Do
in
you,
a couple of the games I played fine.
yeah. Do you have any like if something like that was to happen? Is there any like measures you'd take to maybe alleviate that pressure off of yourself?
Um, Well, how do you mean? Like
Like,
alleviate? Like,
if you hypothetically got 3-0'd in the final, how would you go about uh, restoring your confidence, perhaps, after?
I would either practice a lot more
Hmm.
to try and get back to the level of what I think I should be playing at.
Yeah.
I have as a player that plays many things, I have the option of swapping roles. Maybe you know, maybe I'm more comfortable in something else that I need to try.
Yeah.
I have that option.
Hmm.
Um, I think it would have been a tough one because obviously I don't like losing. I never want to
I don't
lose
think anyone
regardless.
likes losing, but yeah.
No, but like even competitively, I think in competitive you can't just be okay with losing. You have to
Hmm.
improve,
Yeah.
and that's how you get better. If you're
Hmm.
okay with losing, I don't think competitive is
Your thing.
your thing. No,
Yeah.
you need to accept the fact that you lost, and you need to work
Hmm.
at a higher level to improve on that.
Okay. I mean, that's a really healthy way, I think, to view it in the grand
Yeah,
scheme of
I think
things.
so.
Now, is there anything in particular you want to bring up right now? Anything
Um,
to do with the league or the UK scene or any competitive thing? Anything that's like on your top of your mind?
I think the UK scene needs a bit more spotlight. And a lot of UK players probably need to do a bit more competitive because I think as a region, our our country or the UK as a whole, even Scotland or an island and stuff like that, is kind of lacking.
Hmm.
Um, like I don't think I'm at the top of where I can play right now. I think I
Yeah.
can improve still, and I'm already in the top 10 of our region, which means that there is a lot of people that are playing that aren't you know looking to step into competitive or stuff
Yeah.
like that. I think it would be a good
Do
idea.
do you think that's because of lack of motivation?
I'm not quite sure because you know maybe it's just maybe it's just a lack of motivation or people they can look at.
Hmm.
A lot of pros are not from the UK or they're
Yeah.
from Denmark and all those nations like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they just don't have someone to look at or follow. There are a couple of streamers and stuff like that, but they're
Yeah.
more on the entertainment side, less competitive.
Yeah. So you'd like you think it'd be positive for the scene if there was more UK players that were more available to watch.
Yeah, yeah. I think if there was a higher tier UK player that played my role,
Mhm.
and
You'd feel more connected to that player than say a player in LEC but of a different
yeah, like
region.
everyone in league respects Faker, right? Like Faker is a
Yeah.
great player and stuff like
Hmm.
that, but he's not very relatable as much because he's playing at such like a high
He's not very
bar.
British.
Not very British as well. Yeah, he's
Okay.
Korean.
Yeah.
But he's playing at such a high bar, and like he is sort of like the social symbol of the league for the Korean
Yeah. Hmm.
scene.
So you think
I feel
that?
like we don't have that.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So
But apart from that, I don't too much.
yeah. I
You
mean,
got anything?
no, that's fine. I mean, we are coming towards the end of our time here.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'd like to thank you, Chewy, for coming on this episode. Great talking to
Yeah.
you. Lovely to hear about you, you and your story.
Mm-hmm.
And well, we'll be back in a few days with another episode.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching.